Introduction. Good morning.
I didn't get the Gemara on yet. Needs to drop closer to you. Okay.
That's good. Better for you. It's better for me.
Okay, a little introduction to today is that I don't know the Gemara. If anybody needs a day off, today's a good day.
I thought that was last night.
And my Gemara from last time that I learned that I just put a big question mark. I didn't understand anything. Today, Machavus explained to me a little bit, but I got the general idea, but the details are still coming. We're not going to do a daf today, not even a half a daf. And let's take off the pressure. Today is the day off for myself also. Okay, we'll see how it goes.
You don't mind if we ask questions?
No, questions are fine. Today's laid back. Today's laid back. We're learning together, and whatever we succeed, and then we'll continue tomorrow. We're already like 7, 8 blood, so it'll be 9 blood. Like it's not, but okay. So that's the introduction. I waited for the recording to go on. That in the recording also I should say that this is not a regular. Okay, I have a little yesterday's Gemara. This is a little bit. Here's a case on the screen. We're on the bottom of Kuf Yudam Beis. Kuf Yudam Beis, 4 lines from the bottom. But if we go back a few lines earlier, the Mishnah's case was there was a man who had 2 wives, a Chareshes and a Ketana, and both of them are Kedushin and Rabbanan, and he died, and they're falling to Yibum, to the brother. So as far as we know, so far as the Mishnah says, if there would have been both Ketana, so there would have been both Chareshes, so both of them are Kedushin and Rabbanan, and we treat it as a regular marriage on the Raisa level. This is Rabbanan level. So what do we say? That if someone has 2 wives, he has to take care of one of them, and the other one is free. That means he does Yibum or Chalitza to either one, and the other one goes free. But the Mishnah said when there's a Ketana and a Chareshes, so then it's not enough to take care of only one of them. And the Mishnah didn't say why. Yesterday's Gemara, the way we explained it was that even though they're both marriages, Mirabanan, thank you.
You said suffix,
What I mean?
right? We said because of a suffix, which one is
Right.
preferred?
That we don't know that even though they're both marriages, Rabbanan, but here we looked at which one is like a primary marriage, which one is a secondary marriage, and even though they're both invented marriages that Rabbanan created, but there's one that he might prefer more than the other one. And the Gemara and yesterday Chaim David said the story why he might want the Ketana more is because eventually she's going to grow up, she'll be a normal wife. Maybe he would prefer her, even though the Chareshes also is married with Rabbanan, but she's they're both Rabbanan, but she's the preferred wife. And then the Gemara said also a different side yesterday that the Chareshes, she's already an adult. She's a bas bia. I mean, if he has relations with her, she's a full-grown, mature person, and maybe that's the reason why he prefers the Chareshes over the Ketana. After that, the Gemara spoke. If he's also a Cheresh, then maybe he prefers somebody who's like him, similar. But the Gemara says no. Even over there, he might prefer the Ketana also. So the way we learned yesterday, it was quite simple. That both of them are married midrabanan, but one might be the preferred. So we can't just take care of one of them with Chalitza or Yibum. The Ketana he could do. He'd have to wait until she becomes a Gedola. For the Chareshes, there's no such thing as Chalitza to a Chareshes, but Yibum, if he takes care of one of them, he could do Yibum to the Ketana, Yibum to the Chareshes, but Yibum to one of them is not going to part to the other one because maybe he got the secondary one. Maybe the Yibum was going to marry one of them, Yibum, maybe he got the secondary wife to his brother, and that's not enough to part the primary wife. And we don't know which one is primary, which one is secondary, so therefore he has to take care of both of them.
With Yibum, or we don't know with what?
So Rav, this is today's Gemara. Now, what does he do now? So yesterday we just said it's not enough to take care of one of them, you have to take care of both of them. What could you do to take care of both of them? So now today's Gemara is going to say that the Chareshes, he does Yibum and gives her a get. And to the Ketana, he waits till she grows up and he gives her Chalitza. Why is that? Why is that the way to take care of it? Let's try to figure out ourselves. What should he do? Do Yibum to both of them?
No, you
Can't Yibum to both of them. Why? because you only can take one, can't take two. You're not allowed to take two co-wives.
Uh-huh.
So you can't give them to both of them. Give chalitza to both of them, that would have been nice. Give chalitza to both of them, but you can't give chalitza to a chaveshes. Katana, you could.
Or you can give chalitza.
I say chalitza. I'm the one chalitza. Give chalitza to both of them. So the katana, you can wait till she becomes an adult,
But you can't give chalitza now.
but you can't. That's right. Okay, so wait until she becomes a gedola. Wait till she grows up. That she's on hold anyway. She's not getting married now. Okay, she's so wait till she grows up. But the chaveshes, there's no eight of giving chalitza. You can't give chalitza to a chaveshes.
Oh,
So the Gemara says, so do yibum to the chaveshes, but you can't stay with her because when he's going to give chalitza to the ktana, then she's going to become a chos chalutzaso. Not a chos chalutzaso. I'm sorry, I got the wrong thing. When he gives chalitza to the ktana, so then he pushed away the house. He pushed away like by sechu the bone. Once you give chalitza to one of the wives, the other one is pushed away also. So he won't be able to stay with the chaveshes. If she would have been the primary wife and he did yibum, so maybe he would be able to stay with her.
why is he not allowed to stay with her?
Because when he's going to give chalitza, the yibum he does to the chaveshes is not good enough because maybe she's a secondary wife, right? So he has to also take care of he has to take care to the ktana also. To the ktana, what's he going to do? He'll give chalitza. Once he gives chalitza to the ktana, he's not going to be allowed to stay with the chaveshes anymore because one of the co-wives got chalitza. So therefore, the eighth is going to be to do yibum to the chaveshes, but he can't stay with her. He has to divorce her because once he's going to give chalitza to the ktana, that's going to answer him on his wife. So he has to divorce her, and the ktana he waits until she grows up, and then he gives her chalitza. So it sounds good. Let's see. Okay, Moshe is happy so far. Let's look at the Gemara. This is as far as we got. So we got the 4 lines in the bottom. What do they do? Mishnah says that one is not good enough. Yibum to one of them is not good enough. So what do you do? Rav Chisda said in the name of Rav, the Chaveshes, he does Yibum and he divorces her. And the Ktana, he waits until she grows up and he gives her Chalitza. Okay, that sounds good. Moshe is happy. But the Gemara now changes the whole understanding of what we said yesterday. Yesterday we said that both of them are married with Rabbanan, but one might be a primary wife, one a secondary wife. We don't know which one is more chashuv, which one is more beloved upon him personally. Each person might be different. We don't know. So because of that suffix, we don't know who the primary wife is. Today's Gemara doesn't explain that it's changing. It seems to change the whole understanding, and there might be a reason why the Gemara changes that. I think because the next Mishnah is going to talk about if there are these 2 women are married to 2 different husbands. Over there also we talk about that one might be more than the other. The story we just said is that each person has it in his 2 wives. He has a primary wife and a secondary wife. That's only when there's one person with 2 wives. But if there are 2 separate husbands with these wives, one is married to Chareshes, one is married to a Ktana, then what's the difference how preferable they are? That's his only wife. And so according to this story we said so far, there wouldn't be any primary and secondary when it's talking about 2 husbands. So, and the Gemara is going to say something about one is more than the other, even when there are 2 separate husbands. So the story we said yesterday is not going to be enough. So we go into a whole new understanding of what's happening with this Chareshes and Ktana. So I made a code over here just for the symbolism that there's this symbol, that's X, means that it's like a quasi kind of a marriage. That yes, half not, like a check and X that's combined together, superimposed. That is yes and no, yes and no. That is called a half a marriage. There's a kind of everything's Rabbanan. Everything is Rabbanan. All these marriages are Rabbanan, the Chareshes, Ktana, everything's Rabbanan. The possibilities are that there's a kind of quasi marriage, that they invented a kind of a half a marriage. There's another choice that it's a suffix. Either it's a whole marriage or nothing of a marriage. Just these are the symbols. A check or an X means, like you say in Yiddish, or the garnished. Everything or nothing. Is there such expression in English also? All or nothing? Is there such expression? All or nothing. So and the other thing of like maybe call it a half a marriage or a quasi marriage. That not that it's all or nothing. Is it's not to say that there's a chatzi marriage. They made like a quasi marriage, some kind of a half a marriage. And the Gemara is going to talk about that one of these women, Chareshes, Ktana, one of these, both of them are not definite marriages. Yesterday we said that both of them might be definite marriages, but one is primary, one is secondary. The Gemara is not going with that at all. The Gemara is going that there are different kinds of marriages, and not because of his particular preference, but because that's the way that the Rabbanan invented the marriage. They could have invented a quasi-marriage, some kind of a half a marriage. They could have invented a marriage that we're not sure if it's a full marriage, a full-blown marriage, or it's a nothing.
This full blown or nothing.
Yeah,
We're not talking about as a katana or as a gadola, right?
we're talking about as a katana or as a chareshes. No, sorry,
No, I mean,
a
the
katana.
katana, we're not talking about the all would be when she grows up.
No, as a
We're
katana.
talking as a katana, maybe it's a real marriage.
Right, real marriage means with Rabbanan. Like the whole day today, there's a big title of Rabbanan. No one's going
Maybe
in
it's a
into the
real
rises.
marriage.
Real marriage means that Rabbanan
maybe it's
invented a full
nothing.
marriage, or they
Yeah, I
nothing.
thought that was a mahlokes we had.
What do we have? You ever spoke
Somebody
about?
said that a marriage of a katana is nothing.
No,
That's what you-
no. So you're talking about that when they invented a marriage. You're right. Very nice. Like, I didn't think about that. That the Gemara said maybe just playing house. Or Beloza said that
Yeah.
it's not a marriage. Just
That would
we
be
say
the
that
X,
it's not
right?
that it's a nothing. Nice. I didn't think of it. Sounds nice. But I'm not thinking of that anymore. But it's nice. Nice point. That maybe they said he's allowed to live with her, but it's not a marriage at all. Very nice. Sounds like a nice thing. But that's going to be one choice that we're going to talk about. That maybe there's such a thing called everything. They invented a marriage as everything or nothing. Everything again, nothing deraisa. Today, nothing's deraisa. But either they invented a full marriage, or there's not a marriage at all. As Rabbi Yaakov was pointing out, we had such a mandama that they let her live with her, but not that it's a marriage at all. Okay, and then there's another kind of a choice that's called a half a marriage. They invented a half a marriage, and it's not a nothing. It's surely not a nothing. It's something, but it's not everything. It's a something. That's the choices that we're going to talk about today. And the Gemara is going to decide. They're going to think about the charesha and the ketana. They're not both the same. They're not the same. They're not both going to be all or nothing, or both be a something. One is going to be all or nothing, and one of them is going to be a something. But something means like only a chetzi.
Right. So when you got 100%
or nothing.
No, 100% or nothing. And when you have 50%,
right?
You have a short 50%.
Right.
Here you got
right. And the Gemara is going to figure out which one did they invent. How did you call it? 100% or nothing. And which one did they invent? The 50%.
But Rebbe said that katana is the 150,
right.
100,
and so I put on the chart what the Gemara is going to say.
Oh,
okay. That the next Gemara is going to say this we have so far, that the chareshes is what you do is Rav says the Rav Kissa said in the name of Rav, what you do is.
Rebbe, can I ask you?
Yes, please.
Rebbe, can you turn the camera on, please? Reuven appreciates it.
Oh,
no, you don't have the camera. The camera of my picture. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Reuven, and okay. I guess that you could see it even if I don't. I hope that's the way it is. Back on 1 second again.
Yes, it's on now. Thank you very much. It's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
And what am I doing here? The Gemara and our chart. Is that still on? Is the picture on? The video still on? I hope so. Okay, if it's not, then let me know.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so back to the Gemara now. So far we said Ketzat Takanasan. Whoever came a little bit later, I just introduced that today is a slow day and laid back and figuring it out together because I don't know the Gemara well, but we're trying to figure it out. So first we started Ketzat Takanasan. If Sister said that he marries of the two wives, back to this drawing over here, where is there's a man who's married to a Chareshes and a Ketana. He had two wives, and he died. And it says in the Mishnah that the brother who's doing Yibum, he can't just take care of one of them like a regular two co-wives. He just takes care of one of them, the other one goes free. He has to attend to both of them. And Rav said, what does he do? Rav said, Rav Chisda said in the name of Rav that to the Chareshes, he does Yibum, he marries her and gives her a get. And to the Ketana, he waits until she grows up and he gives her chalitza. Now Rav Chisda continues to say, I'm going to tell you the Pshat and Rav. The Pshat and Rav is that the Chareshes, they invented a 50% marriage, and to the Ketana, they invented an all or nothing marriage. Therefore, let's go with it.
Why they do this? They invented this type for this and this type for that.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yesterday we spoke about that both of them might be married but both of them are married Mirabanan, but one is a primary and the other one a secondary. And the Gemara is not going with that. The Gemara is going that there's a different type of marriage. Oh, the Rambam does say something. The Rambam says that, okay, once you mention it, the Rambam says that there are two kinds of women over here. I don't know if that's I don't have a clear shot, but the Rambam says the reason why they invented a marriage for a Ktana is because she shouldn't be Hefker until she doesn't have a father, and she shouldn't be Hefker until she grows up. So we don't want her to be without a husband. So therefore they invented a marriage. And it's a suffix if it's a nothing or something. Maybe like Abe Yaakov says that they could have permitted him to live with her playing house, even though it's not a real marriage at all, or they made a marriage. And by Chavishes, the point over there is not because being Hefker, does that she should be able to get married. But the Raisa, she doesn't, they not because she's Hefker, but that she should be able to have a husband. Be able to have a husband. So it's a little different kind of Hagdara of why they made the marriage. So they invented a 50% marriage. Maybe that's some understanding why there's a different type of marriage. Thank you for bringing it up. Or the opposite, but there's two types. The Rambam points out there's two types of marriages, not his preference, who he likes better particularly, but they invite the two men. And here Gemara says that the understanding of which is which is that the Chareshes is a half a marriage, a 50% marriage, and the Ktana is all or nothing. We're not sure all or nothing. Let's just go through it if it makes sense. That therefore he gives Yibum to the Chareshes. What do we say? It's a half a marriage. If it's a half a marriage, and it needs to be taken care of, so he does Yibum.
Because it's Vadai something.
It's Vadai 50%. It's a definite 50%.
The Katana may be nothing.
Now, the Katana is nothing.
This is something.
Right. So let's see if everything continues well. The Katana, on the other hand, might be everything, might be nothing. If it's a nothing, if she's a nothing, so nothing's disturbed. He did Yibum to the Chareshes.
And that was something.
And that was something. And now the other one is really not married at all. So nothing has to be done to her. But on the side that she has a full marriage, so then something has to be done to her also. So you have to do chalitza.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the chalitza going to disturb the half a marriage? Yes. Because this is a real marriage and this is only half a marriage. So if he does chalitza to the full wife, so she can't stay remaining with his half wife, so he has to give her a good. That's good. Now the Gemara is.
And that also works out very well because she grew up when he gave the chalitza.
And
So
yes,
then it turns out that really we were talking about that it was nothing.
what do you mean to say?
When she was a katana,
On the side that it was nothing, so it was never a marriage. They're not married at all. The chalitza is not a chalitza.
so the even was really good. And when she grew up, it was a real marriage, and that's why they
What?
had
No, when she grows up, what's a real marriage?
Tigat deal.
Tagdil b'tachlot. He waits till she grows up, and then he gives her chalitza just to be able to give chalitza. But if she was not married, then there's no chalitza. There's nothing. Tagdil doesn't mean she becomes married to him. He just waits until she grows up.
So
the
that she
yavam.
can accept the
Chalitza,
I see,
right?
but it's still over the okay.
Right. He didn't marry her. This guy died already. This guy died, and the other one's waiting. He waits till the bas mitzvah, and then on bas mitzvah
And not
day.
that it's a marriage, but that it's just so that she can accept the chalitza.
And now she can go to get married. Why does she maybe cannot be able to get married? Because maybe her marriage was a marriage. If her marriage to the husband was not a marriage at all, so she's nothing. She never was married. She can go out right away. But there's a thought that maybe she was married 100% to her first husband, so she can't. And the yibum that was done to her co-wife is not enough because that marriage was only half a marriage, and this is a full marriage. So she has to wait until she gets big, and then she'll get a chalitza. Then she can go.
Okay.
Now the Gemara is going to entertain the possibility that maybe it's the opposite. Is it possible to work out the opposite? That the chareshes is the one who's all or nothing, and the Ktana is the one who's a 50%. Is it possible to say that? Rav said, again, this is the psak. This is the psak. The Rav said, this is not changing. It means, I think, or this is the only possibility. That's what the Gemara says. Rav says, this is the only possibility of what to do, that to the Chareshes is Yibum Beget, and the Ktana is to wait till get Chalitza. And now we're analyzing what did Rav understand the marriage is. So the Gemara is going to go through the possibility. Is it possible to say that the Chareshes is all or nothing, and the Ktana is 50%? Let's try to figure it out ourselves. What do we say? If the Chareshes is nothing, so she doesn't need anything. Okay, are you allowed to marry her? Is the Yavam allowed to marry this woman, this Chareshes?
No, because it's his brother's wife.
No, we just said that it's nothing. means even
Oh, it's nothing.
if it's a nothing, so his brother
Oh,
was never
it's
married, so he's
nothing.
allowed to marry this woman
I see.
because so on the side that it's a nothing, he's allowed to do yibum. On the side that she's a something, that she was a full married, is he allowed to do yibum? He's allowed to marry her because it's his brother's wife. How about the Ketana? If it's a 50% marriage, so it's not a suffix, maybe everything or nothing. It's
So he could do yibum to her.
so could he do yibum to her?
Yeah.
Could he do yibum?
Yes,
Not yibum, chalitza.
Why can't he do
he
yibum?
can do yibum. Of course he can do yibum.
Why could he do yibum?
Because it's some kind of a marriage. Just like. the
But he
first-
did he do yibum to the Chareshes? We said
Not
that,
yet.
well, no, again, what does it again? We did. We said that so you have two wives here. We have to take care of both of them. Taking
I
care of
know,
one
I
of them
thought
is
you were
not.
taking care of the katana first.
No, so no. Okay, let's just go the way we're going. That we
He
told the
did-
brother
he did
yibum to the
first.
Chareshes because on the side that it's nothing, you can marry her. On the side that she's a full wife, so you have to do yibum. So marry her.
Oh, so then he can't.
So now he
Once
can.
did
So
yibum,
then he cannot do
can't
yibum to the other one.
Yeah.
So what are we going to say to do? To do chalitza?
No, because once you do yibum, you're free. The other one's free.
No,
If it's some kind of a marriage and you did yibum to the other one, then everybody else is
very nice. But maybe the first one was a nothing.
Right, so you see, right.
If the first one was a nothing, so then he didn't do yibum yet,
so then he has to do chalitza.
and he has to do something to the ketana. So he has to do chalitza.
So work out.
And if he does chalitza now to the ketana, does he interfere with the marriage of the chareshes?
No,
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 he doesn't interfere. Even though he did chalitza to one of them,
that's right.
why? Why do you think that it doesn't interfere with the first one's marriage? Why do you say so? You're saying an opinion that even if he first married the chareshes and then he got chalitza by the ketana, it doesn't backfire onto the chareshes.
That's if she's a nothing.
If she's a nothing, she really doesn't fire back
Yeah.
because she's not here part of the family. What if she's a full marriage? The chareshes was a full marriage and the ketana is half a
And
marriage.
The chalitza was nothing.
Then the chalitza is that kind of chalitza enough to interfere with the full-blown marriage? She's a full-blown marriage on this side, and she's only a 50% marriage. So it could be that she's not gonna her chalitza wouldn't interfere because once he
Oh.
did a full marriage, so then it wouldn't say get.
That's the nothing.
Yibum v'get. Here it says yibum v'get.
Right.
And according to the way we're saying, presenting this possibility that the chareshes is either all or nothing, and the ketana is a 50%. So then
She
why
would be,
does
yeah.
the chareshes have to get divorced?
Uh,
Let him do yibum to the chareshes
then you can
and
stay there.
chalitza to the ketana when she becomes big, and stay with the chareshes. If
Uh,
this is two choices, all or nothing, and this is 50%. So the 50% chalitza shouldn't interfere. Once he did a yibum, that's a full-blown yibum, and let him stay with her. Heavily, how is it going? Happily ever after. So that's what the Gemara seems to say, that Rav must have held like this and not like that, like the green, not like the
Who
red.
says that?
I think Rav Chisda.
Rav Chisda says like the second one.
Like no, Rav Chisda says like the first one, and he explains that Rav said this statement. Yibum v'get and tagdo v'tag. That's what
Oh,
Rav said.
so
And
Rav
Rav Chisda
Chisda is saying
says,
that must
This is what
mean
that must mean
Rav
this
holds like the
red
green.
and not like the red.
Nice.
And that was the Gemara inside.
What is Mr.
Good. Yeah, don't look at the clock. Well, we're doing fine.
Mr. Yuresh says, we
Oh,
can get to you,
but
but what does
now
that
it-
word mean?
Like Shirayim. Shirayim means leftovers.
Leftovers?
So Kinuyo, so here the Gemara goes. What I call 50% quasi, the Gemara calls Kinuyo Mushuyeres. Maybe let's highlight something over here. Kinuya Umushuyeres. The Chareshes is acquired and leftover. Means some yes, some not. That in some way she's acquired, but in some way she's not. Kinuya Umushuyeres. And Kitana, there's something else over here. Kitana, Kinuya Ve'en Kinuya. That's all or nothing. Those are the two, and that was our first list on the list. That the Chareshes is half a marriage, and the Kitana is all or nothing. And then it works. So Rav's the one who said that what you have to do is marry and divorce the Chareshes, and the Ketana wait till she gets old, adult, and then give her chalitza. From Rav, we could derive, Rav Chisda, I could see Rav holds that the Chareshes is a half a marriage, and the Ketana is all or nothing. The East now goes on to analyze the red possibility. East like the Chareshes, Ketana, but if it's the opposite, if it's going to be that the Chareshes is all or nothing, and the Ketana is 50%, definite 50%, chareshes amai kones umotzia beget. Why does he have to do yibum and then divorce her? Stay married. That's on top of the page. Teisiv gabei. Mamanavshach, let her remain by him on any tzad. Mamanavshach. Iknuyahi, if it was a full marriage, her marriage was a full marriage. Aknuyahi. So she's acquired, and the chalitza that's going to happen to the ketana is not going to affect her because she's a full wife that got yibum. So she's the one in. Milav knuyahi, if she's not married at all, she's a regular stranger, not connected to this man. And if the so-called brother-in-law married her, it's not a brother-in-law, it's a strange man that married her, and she's fine. Why should she not remain married? So that's the Gemara. That's what we said so far. So far we did it on the Gemara says that this must be true, that she's the half marriage, the chareshes is the half marriage, and the ketana is all or nothing. Because if it would be that the chareshes is the all or nothing, and the ketana is half a marriage, then she could stay. And this is the one that the green is the truth. The Gemara is going to now say, I think the Gemara is going to say, and how come if this is true, how come he can't marry the ketana and stay married? Let him do yibum to the ketana instead of if this is what Rav held that this is a half a marriage, this is all or nothing marriage. Why doesn't he give an eitzah that the ketana should be able to marry and stay married? If it's a marriage, it's all. And if it's not a marriage, so no problem. She's a stranger. That's a kasha. That's the kasha now.
Okay.
How come if you say this for her, that if it's all in, if it's all or nothing, so how come Rav said that the only way to do it is that the charesha should get yibum and a get, and the ketana should get chalitza? Why not let the ketana get married and stay married?
After he gives the charesha and a get.
And then she wouldn't even.
So Moshe is asking, what do you do? Moshe is asking, what are you going to do with the charesha? It says, very nice. The ketana can get married and either stay married in either event. If she's married, she's married. If she's not, she's a stranger, also can stay married. And then Moshe is asking, what's going to be with the chareshas?
Give her a chalitza.
Give her a chalitza.
Decide that it's.
But a charesha can't get a chalitza. On the side that she's a nothing, she's a something, then the charesha doesn't need anything. On the side that she's a nothing, and the yibum and the charesha needs a something. What are you gonna do? You're gonna give her chalitza. There's no chalitza. What are you gonna do? Do yibum? You can't do yibum
Because on the side that because maybe the yibum was really a good yibum, so you can't do yibum,
right?
And you can't do chalitza because she's a rest.
Right. I think the Gemara is going to say that. I think that's what the Gemara is going to say. So we figured it out. What the Gemara is going to say. Here goes the Gemara. The third line. If so, that this far is true. So how come Rav says that the ketana gets chalitza? Let her be the one to get married, and let her wait. In other words, how come he says to the ketana, wait until you get adult and then get chalitza? Let her get married to him, yibum, teisiv gabei, and then she could remain. Iknuyahi, and he love knuyahi, nachrisa b'almahi. If she's married, she's in, and if she's a stranger, she's also allowed to stay in. But then the more answers this teretz. And Cain, chareshes b'moteput. How could the chareshes get? She has to get freed, and she can't get chalitza, and she can't get yibum either now if the other one did yibum. So therefore Rav says that's the pshat and Rav. Good. Okay, a period. We can put a period over here.
Not tefuk, and that's the end of that.
Right. But a period. And that was Rav Chisda said. So far we have Rav's psak. Rav is the one who said this psak that the chareshes gets yibum beget and the ketana gets chalitza when she gets an adult. Rav Chisda explained that this is the understanding. This understanding would not work. The red one wouldn't work. The green one is the one that works, and that's pshat and Rav. Okay, now we're ready to go further. Amar Rav Sheshes. Hachinami Mistabra. Kiddukamatash Rav Chisda. I'll leave it to Rav. Rav Sheshes says Rav Chisda's pshat and Rav is true. That chareshes is half married and the ketana is all or nothing. I'll bring a proof. We're trying to prove the hagdara of how the Rabbanan invented these marriages. What we say that the chareshes marriage is a half a marriage and the ketana marriage is all or nothing. I'll prove it. The Tanya. I have a brisa. Shnei yachin isu and shnei achoyos is almost the text of the word is almost maybe ketana v'chareshes. Two brothers that are married to two sisters. One is a ketana, one is a chareshes. It doesn't make a difference if the Chareshes is the Yisoma.
Oh, Yisoma
Yis-
Katana. that's
Yisoma, okay, the Katana, okay, if they're sisters and one is a Yisoma, so the other one's also Yisoma. But it doesn't make a difference to the Chareshes. The Chareshes might have been an adult already. It doesn't make a difference. They take out the word Yisomos maybe, because the point is that they're sisters. One is a Katana. It means that her father died. That's true. The other one is a Chareshes. She might have been even an adult. Doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
And she's Chareshes. We got a chart over here.
But again, we have two husbands now. That's the point.
We have here,
Two husbands.
what do you mean two husbands? Two brothers. What do you mean? Two brothers, both of them are married?
Right.
This
Because you swim just to make sure that we know that the father didn't marry, but that's all.
the father didn't marry her off. Right. And yeah, that's why that's going to get to the Ketana.
Right.
Okay, the Ketana. I made my code over here. This is a Ketana, a small little one. This is both of them are women.
Those are the
And
women.
this is the Ketana, this is the Chareshes.
Okay.
Two brothers married two women that are sisters. Both of them are Drabanan. She's a Ketana, she's a Chareshes. Both of them are Drabanan. And one of the brothers died.
Apparently the one.
Right, so it's going to say both cases. We'll have the other case soon. But let's first go with this case, that the husband of the Ketana died.
Mhm.
So this woman is falling to the brother-in-law for Yibum. And what do you say about it?
Oh, I see. That husband has nothing to do with the fact that she's a Katana. Her father died. Has nothing to do with her husband. I was getting confused.
I'm not following, but
She's a Katana
she's a
because
Katana.
her father died.
yeah, she's a Ketana. Her father died. The brother married her off to this man.
To this man.
So it's a marriage with Rabbanan.
So it's
And
marriage.
this one, he has a sister who's a Chareshes, and she's married to the brother.
Okay.
The husband of the Ketana died. And this widow, the Ketana, is falling to Yibum to the brother-in-law, who also happens to be her sister's husband. What do you say? If they would have been regular sisters, regular adults, so then there's no Yibum, nothing, no chalitza, because it's a wife sister. Wife sister doesn't, there's an error. There's nothing over there. But here, that we're talking about the Rabbanan marriages, and one is a Chareshes, one is a Ketana. How do you deal with this?
Oh, she's a Chareshes.
They're sisters.
Oh, she's a Chareshes.
She's a Chareshes, she's a Ketana. So you're saying that the sisters, and therefore there's nothing?
Or Chareshes, what difference does it make? Two sisters. So it shouldn't be a problem either.
Maybe this is not a marriage over here. If this is less of a marriage, then it's not such a disturbance to the Yibum. So I don't know what the Gemara is going to say. Let's see. Now, let's analyze Ketana. First case, that the husband of the Ketana died. So, what does the Bryce say? Chareshes Yotza beget.
Brother has to give again.
Uktana tamtenat shetangdel v'tachlos. What does it say?
It says wait till she gets old and get
That he has to divorce his wife. Why does he have to divorce his wife?
he has to divorce his wife because it would be like the green one in the previous one.
I'm not sure.
She's at 50%.
The
The living brother's wife is at 50%, so he has to give her a get.
Why? Because the Ketana
Because
is
like in
all
the
or
other case where
nothing.
it said marry her and then give her a
So you're saying that the Ketana is all or nothing.
Yeah.
So the all, if it's a nothing, it's a nothing. But if it's then surely he doesn't marry her. It's a nothing. There's no Yibum. But if it's a all, then it's a real Yibum happening. There's a real Yibum. Of course, real means everything Drabbana. That's but it's a real Yibum Zika Drabbana, and this is only a half a
Right,
marriage.
so it's a problem because we don't.
So he has to. So she's lachos kukaso, and he has to divorce her. And how about does he take the Chareshes? Does he take the Ketana?
No,
Because
because
the other
maybe
one
it's-
was a half, then you don't want to.
That if there's half, then it is a marriage, and he's taking chos kukaso. Even if this is if the Ketana is all,
Yeah.
so then he would be able to take her. But if she's a nothing, if she's not married, she's not married at all to her husband.
Then it's his
So there's no yibum at all, and it's not taking a wife sister. There's a half a marriage at least over here. So that's why he wouldn't be able to take her either. So he has to wait till chalitza. Is that what it said again?
Yeah.
It said Charesh is also begets
divorce his
Ketana. He has to divorce his wife, and the Ketana we wait till she gets big, and then the tachlitz. Next case, good, everyone's helping me, okay. The next case is the opposite case. Mace, how do we do here? Oh, I missed it. Okay, after this, I have to erase that. Then allow me. Mace. Bala shel chareshes. The next case. Mace Bala shel chareshes, the opposite case. That again, the same thing that they had the two brothers, and one is married to chareshes, one's married to Ktana, but he's the one who died. And now the chareshes is the one who's falling to the brother-in-law. What do you say here? Let's go with the same svara that the Ktana is all or nothing, and the chareshes is a half. So what do you say? If the Ktana is a nothing,
then you'd have to do evil.
yes, because nothing's standing in the way. He's not married, and he's not his wife's sister at all, and he has the yibum falling to him. So on that side, if it's a nothing, then he should do yibum. If it's a something, if it's everything, I mean to say, if it's all, so then
that's
it's Amish his wife's sister.
Yeah.
And even though she's a half yibum coming on, you have a wife that's falling to yibum, but there's a real
There's an error.
error that's standing in the way, and you cannot do yibum. So what would you say? What would you tell this man to do?
He has to first, I guess he has to first wait for her to have it to go up.
What does that have to do with anything? If the Kana grows up,
Because
he's the one who died. This woman needs something. Yibum, chalitza, nothing.
We can't give her chalitza because she's a cherush.
Oh, no chalitza. So what are you going to
The
do?
only thing that he could do is yibum to her.
Could he do yibum?
Okay, so that's the problem with the other.
Then he can't do yibum because maybe it's his wife's sister.
Yeah, so it's a problem.
So he has to wait till his wife grows up
What does it help if the wife grows up?
And then it gives
and
her.
he can give chalitza.
To his wife. What his wife? His wife doesn't need chalitza. He's living.
Oh,
Oh, that's his wife.
and give his wife a get,
What's it going to help?
then he's not married. But once he could, because even with a get, it's still his wife's sister.
That's my sister. So she's a problem. Okay, she's a problem.
So what does the Gemara say? Meis bala shel chaveshes, Kana yotza beget. He has to divorce his wife. Why is that? Why is Tana yotza beget? Because it might be achos zikukoso, huh? It might be achos zikukoso. If the wife is not a marriage at all, and there's the chaveshes falling to him, or half a wife is falling to him. So this woman, this Tana, is now a achos zikukoso. So he has to give her a get. The chaveshes, what's going to be with the chaveshes? No eitzah for the chaveshes. Because he can't do chalitza. There's no chalitza to a chaveshes, and there's no yibum because maybe it's his wife's sister. And even if he gives her a get, doesn't help anything. What if he didn't ask any questions? This case, we told him that he has to divorce his wife, and she's no eitzah. She's guna for life. But he didn't know whatever, and he had relations with her.
Okay.
What do you say?
He can't stay with her
Why can't he stay with her?
because it's usher because she's
Maybe it's his wife's sister.
it's his wife's sister. Yeah.
But and I was going to say that maybe there's an eitzah.
And that's constant, right?
Yeah, so he's not allowed to stay
So
with her.
even if he had
But-
deal with her, he's still living in a
Wife's sister. But could he give her? Would it help to give her a get to allow her to marry out? It says that she can't marry anybody. Asur lolam. She's not allowed to marry anybody ever.
Oh,
But now it talks about would it help to give her a get? Would it help to give her a get?
Chaveshes we get it, right?
Yes, she can get it, but only if there was a marriage. Only if he's married to her.
so
Is
she
he
could-
married to
You
her?
could give her a get and then she'd be free.
So how does he do that? If the
Just because he had deal with it one time, is that considered a marriage?
is it a yibum?
Is it yibum?
Is it a yibum?
Yeah.
So what I was saying, it's half. Let's say it's half a marriage. So there's as much as he's married to her. So as much as this was a marriage, so this is a yibum, and then he'd be able to give her a get. Why do we say he can't marry her? Because maybe it's his wife's sister. Maybe this is all. This and then it's his wife's sister. And then there would be no zika. On that side, there's no zika, right? On the side that it's a wife's sister, then he's not allowed to marry her because this is a wife's sister. And that is more than their half a marriage. This is a full marriage. On the side that the wife is not, the Ktan is not a marriage at all. So then it's a regular yibum. On the side that it's a wife's sister, that the Ktan has a marriage. So then that's interfering with this yibum. that he shouldn't do the yibum. But if he married her, if he did yibum, wrong, he shouldn't have done it because maybe it's a wife's sister. But if he did, is that enough that she should be able to go free now? So that's what we're talking about. That's what the Brisa seems to say. The Imbala Chaveshes, no saying no get withdraw. If he did have relations with the Chaveshes, even though he shouldn't have, he gives her a get and she can get married to the world. And now the Gemara is going to explain that it fits with what we said, that the Chaveshes is half a marriage and the Ketana is all or nothing. That's the end of the Brisa. This was the Brisa that Appreciation brought into the Bismedrash to prove that Chisda was right in his analysis that the Chaveshes is half a marriage and the Ketana is all or nothing. Here goes the explanation. If it's true that we say that the Chaveshes is a half a marriage and the Ketana is all or nothing, that's why the Brisa makes sense that if he did have relations with the Chaveshes, he can give her a get and she can marry out. Why? Because on either side, it's true. What is the either side over here? One line before it spreads. If the Ketana is a full marriage, then she didn't need anything because she's a wife's sister, and a wife's sister is no yibum, and she would have been allowed to marry out anyway. What's the only tzad that we was worried about? Yilav Kenuya. If the Ketana is not a marriage at all, so then it was a good yibum. Shapim Yabim was a good yibum, and therefore we can give her a get now. It became his wife. We said that don't marry her because maybe it's a wife's sister. Okay, don't. But if he did, so he had relations, and he did Avera maybe, but as far as the tzad that on that side that she was a wife's sister, she didn't need any kind of Torah. She goes free. The only chash was that maybe the Ketana was not a marriage at all, and therefore he shouldn't have relations with her. But if he did have relations with her, so this will good yibum, and she can give a get. Now let's do the same thing and figure out if the other way would work. What it will be if the Chaveshes is all or nothing, and the Ketana is a half a marriage. He wants to prove from this that it's not going to work. That the halacha we just said worked. If we said that the Chaveshes is a half a marriage, the Ketana is all or nothing. Let's try the other way and see if it works. That the Ketana is a half a marriage, and the Chaveshes is all or nothing. So what do we say? What should he do? What should this man do in order to take care of this yibum that's falling to him? So what's the question? It's
he can't do something. So
he can't.
Half married. He's half married.
He's half married.
Yeah.
So is it a wife's sister? Half. It's a half of it's a quasi wife sister. It's a definite
sister, but it's
a definite quasi wife sister.
But it's some kind of a wife.
So in some way she's a wife sister.
Yeah.
She's a quasi wife sister.
So we can't do yibum, and she's a
So he can't do it. Slowly, please. So therefore, what? Therefore, he can't do yibum because this wife's sister is standing in the way.
Yeah.
So he can't do yibum. Can't do chalitza either. And it said that she's asur lo. It said that there's no eitzim. What if he did have relations with her? What if he had relations with her? Well, he didn't ask any questions. He didn't know he had relations with her. Would it be enough to give a get? Would it be enough to give a get that she can go free? What is it? What did it study? That his wife, the Ketana, was a half a wife. So, and she might be a whole wife. She might be a whole yibum, right? If we have two studies. This marriage that she had to the dead man, was it a full marriage or nothing of a marriage? If it was nothing of a marriage, so then she surely could go free. That's not the problem. The problem is that maybe it's a full marriage, and there's a quasi sister that's a quasi wife sister that's standing in the way. Is there an eitzah to give her to have that if he did yibum, if he did marry her, is that a reason that he can give her a get? It's like a definite she can go free now. Again, it's a definite. What are we saying? What's the definite over here? It's a definite quasi sister-in-law. Mitzad the wife's sister.
She's a Ketana.
She's a Ketana. We're saying that a Ketana's marriage, going in the tzad now, that the Ketana is a Chatzi marriage. It's half a marriage. So if it's half a marriage, so then it's a Chatzi sister-in-law. He's not wife. He's not allowed to live with her. On that side, that's why you shouldn't do. That's why you shouldn't do even. Even though it might be a full-blown marriage, and he should do yibum to her. But there's he's a full-blown and he should do yibum to her. But since there's a quasi wife sister that's standing in the way, he shouldn't do yibum. True? This part is true?
He shouldn't do Yibum, yeah.
If he does do yibum, could she for sure go out?
If he does Yibum, if he
If
does,
he married her,
If
and now he
he
wants to give her. Now he says, "Okay, if I shouldn't have, I'll bring a couple of whatever I'll do, but no, but I'll do tshuva." But is it now permissible to give her a get in order that she should go free?
Why not? Why, the last case you can do it, in this case you can't do it.
Yeah, let's think that there's a definite. She's going now that she's. How are we going now? I forgot already.
That she is.
That she's all or nothing.
yeah,
If she's a nothing, surely she can go out. If she's a all, that she's a real marriage over here, and she needs. She's an all or nothing. She's an all. She's an all. She's an all, and this marriage was a quasi marriage. That's it. We got it. We're getting it. This is a definite chiyuv of yibum because she's because she's a.
Could be on.
Could on the side that it's 100%, and it's a chasi wife. It's a quasi wife sister. Is that okay if he married her? Is that enough that now he should be able to give her a get? What do you think? If you hear tooth them is good because the Gemara is going to say it's a machlokes. But the Gemara thinks that it's not enough. Since he had a marriage to her, even though he married her, he did yibum, but it's called a bia psula because it's somewhat of a wife's sister, and that yibum is not a full blown yibum to be able to make it. Now it's his wife and she can go free, and that's why the Gemara says it's not working. To see that inside, and you said something about mion. Mion is like out of the thing over here. That's what the word mion. So I just said it's not the subject. But if you have anything else you want to say besides the word mion, okay. So here goes the Gemara. The first wide line, the end of the first wide line. But if you're going to say the opposite of what Rav said about Chisda, you're going to say that the chaveshes is all or nothing, and the ketana is 50%. Kibol chaveshes amai no saying get v'hutra. How come the Brisa says that if he had relations with her, then it's enough to give her a get and she can go free? No, having la bia psula or bia psula lo patra. That the marriage that he had with her is called a bia psula because even though there's a tzad that there's a yibum over here, but there's a chatzi sister-in-law that's standing in the way. There's a chatzi erev over there. We're not sure. So the Gemara thinks that a bia psula wouldn't be enough to give her a get, since the yibum was called a disqualified yibum. It's called bia psula means that it wasn't supposed to be because there was an erev standing in the way. It wasn't a kosher yibum.
Well, what can you do? You can't stay with her either, it seems.
Okay, we have that asur la'olam. We said that this charesh. So far, we said that if he would have asked us, we would have said don't have relations with her. And then the woman says, "Why should I?" She doesn't say she's a charesh.
She shouldn't have relations with anybody.
Right? She should.
So he should leave her.
He should
According
have.
to this, he should leave her without a get.
Yeah,
Just
it doesn't
he
help
has
to
to
give a get.
separate.
It doesn't help to give a get.
It doesn't
Right.
help to give a get, so he should just
And
stop
it
that.
doesn't help her to get a get. It doesn't help her to get a get.
So it's just like Znus, and go back to your wife and leave her alone, and she's usher.
Right. The point is that she's aslam. He gets a get. Maybe she give her a get, but it's not going to help her to marry out. That's what the Gemara is asking because the Gemara thinks that a bia psula is not that even though they did a yibum, but since it was a chatzi erva because it was the wife who was a quasi wife, right? Quasi wife's sister. Yeah. So that interferes with the yibum, wasn't a kosher yibum, and therefore it's not married enough to be able to give a get. So that therefore what does the Gemara say with this? Oh, very nice. So we're going in this right direction. That Rav, where's that picture over there? That Rav Chisda that said that this is the truth. That Chareshes is a half a marriage and the Ktana is all or nothing is truth. Because if it would be that Chareshes is all or nothing and Ktana is a half a marriage, then it wouldn't make sense in this case that where did it go? It wouldn't make sense in this case that if he marries her. If he did Yibum, he shouldn't have. If he did it, that is enough to give a get. It shouldn't be enough to give a get, because this might be a full Chi of Yibum, and this is a quasi-sister, wife-sister that's standing in the way, and it's a Bi Psula. The union he had was a Bi Psula, and it shouldn't be enough to give a get. And the Gemara is just going to answer, are you so sure that a Bi Psula is not good enough to give a get? There is a machlokas about it. And it goes back a long time ago. There was a Rav Nechemia that said a Bi Psula also is good enough, and therefore it's not such a proof. That's what the Gemara continues now. Third wide line, Hamani of Nechemi, the Amma Bi Psula Pateres Machalitza. That there is such a Rav Nechemia that says that even if it will be a psula, it also will be enough to give a get. So it's not a raya to your analysis that who's the full man, who's the all or nothing, and who's the half a marriage.
What's the word of Knuya or?
Knuya, the end of Knuya means all or nothing. Knuya Musheres means 50% marriage. The Gemara continues and says not going to work. You want to say that this brisa that we just quoted is Rav Nechemia, it's not going to work. Ema Sefer. Even Nechemia, Ema Sefer. Continue reading. Misha Yinasu Shtei Somos Kitana V'Chareshes.
The sefer that we had already.
The Sefer of what we learned here, with this case over here.
The Imbal. No, I'm sorry.
I think if you look on the screen, there was the brisa with the two cases, two brothers married to two sisters,
Yeah.
one a Ketana, one a Chareshes. That was the case we had, and now the brisa continued.
That's what I'm asking. This is a sefer that we haven't had yet.
Right.
Okay. Aimless sefer.
Misha Yinasu Shtei Somos Ketana V'Chareshes. Here the case is that they're not sisters.
Shtei Somos Ketana
Shtei Somos Ketana V'Chareshes, not sisters. Before it says Shtei Achoyos. The Resha was two sisters, right? Here it said before Shtei Achoyos. Somos Ketana. Here it's not sisters. And this is very
Just
similar to our
one
mission.
man married to two.
One man. Not even two. Not even two. The case was before was two. All right, thank you very much. And this is really our Mishnah. This was back to our Mishnah. Our Mishnah said that a man had two wives, and this is what we're looking at the whole time. Just look at. I think that's what we're looking at. This. Where are we? This case over here.
One man had two wives.
One man had two wives. That's how it sounds like.
Yeah.
Let's see the. I'll keep this. I'll keep the diagram on the screen and read the Gemara. Misha Yinosu Shtei is almost Ketana V'Chareshes Umeis. Okay, that's the case. Yeah, this man. What?
They're both Charashot.
I can't hear.
They're both Charashot.
No. Ketana V'Chareshes. We're reading. It's the 1, 2, 3, fifth white line. Ketana V'Chareshes. This case, Mamish on the screen. Same as the Mishnah. A man had two wives, Ketana V'Chareshes, Umeis, and he died. Okay, that's also the case. And now the brother is supposed to do something. So it says, Bayavam al-Ktana, V'Chazer Ba'al HaChareshes. He had relations with both of them. We said in the Mishnah that he shouldn't do that. He shouldn't be Miyavam both of them. But here it says if he did. What if the Yavam was Miyavam both of them? The Chareshes and the Ktana. Or that he had relations with one and another. There's another brother over there.
Chav means a third brother.
Right. Another brother that also the same thing that one brother did. He's representing everybody. So either he or a brother had relations with the second wife. Nesru Shteyen Alav. Both of them are going to become Asr. Neither one could stay with him. Because once he had relations with one, he's not supposed to be with the other one. He had relations with both of them. He's not allowed to stay with either one of them. I'm not sure what we're saying yet. Case of Takanasan. This is what we want to know. Back to
This is part of the Bryce.
This is part of the Bryce, which was really what Rav said before. Rav wanted to know. All the Mishnah said was he shouldn't marry both of them. I'm sorry. The Mishnah said that one is not enough. That's the same as Amish. Amish said that's to be miyab, and one of them is not enough for the other one. He has to take care of both. Here it says that if he had relations with both of them, they both become also to him. But what should you do? Case of Takanas. Amish Agamor started today. What do you tell this brother to do? What is he supposed to do? Mamish word for word what Rav said. Chareshes Yotzav Aget. Mamish word for word. Right? Is that what Rav said? If we go on to the Gemara, that's what Rav said. That's what it says here.
Wait till
Chareshes Yotzav Aget. He means Zibum and a get. Means Zibum and a get. And the Ketana should wait till she becomes bigger and gets Chalitza. I have to stop here because I don't know how to read it yet anymore. So even though 5 minutes earlier, so
Okay.
we'll try to continue tomorrow.
Yes.
Hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's better than
We
this.
I
show
hope
you
Rebbe
honesty.
enjoyed it. I hope Rebbe enjoyed it.